Hi, I'm Willie. Welcome to my channel. Thank you for being here. I appreciate each and every one of you. If you need IT consulting, go to williehowe.com, click the Hire Us button, fill out that information, and someone will be in touch with you as soon as possible. What we're going to talk about today is setting up GeoIP blocking on an edge router. Now, I did not create this. I cannot credit this. I'll leave links to the original article, but we're going to do this. And if you want to block countries from not being able to send packets through your router, you can follow this, and it does work. I can guarantee that it works. I have verified it, and so let's hop into it. All right, so where we're going to be in the router is we're going to work in our firewall policies, and we are going to work in the firewall NAT groups. So I'm going to leave a link to this cron blog, My Personal Findings. Alex Jensen is the one who came up with the information on how to do this. So I want to thank Alex for putting this out there. The other thing that we're going to do to make our lives easier is we have to add wget, and then we're also going to add the nano editor. So we've got to look at which version of firmware. So I'm running 2.0.9 hotfix 1. So the first thing we've got to do is we got to find in this article how to add these changes to the edge router. So let's go ahead, and we are going to SSH into our router. All right, so we're just going to copy and paste this, right? There's no need to get crazy, try to get fancy. So we're going to configure, we're going to copy this, and there is a link to this down below. And then we're going to do a commit and a save. And then we're going to do sudo apt-get update. And as noted right here, do not use the upgrade command. You will break your router. Do not use the upgrade command at all. Heed the warning right here. Do not run the upgrade command. So we're letting this go out. We're letting it get its package information. And as soon as it does this, we're going to install wget, and then we are going to install nano, because Vi is built in, and I'm not a huge fan of Vi. I like nano. The other thing we're going to be using is Notepad++, and this is an EdgeRouter 4. Said that before, but this should work on all edge routers. Now, your mileage may vary, and it may be a little slower on some models, is because I was messing with 0-tier on this. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do a sudo apt-get install wget, and then I'm going to do sudo apt-get install nano. So while it's doing that, let's take a look at how he did this from the command line. So he added this doing an SNAT rule, but what we're going to do is we're going to use it on the firewall side, and we are going to create the same group called countries allowed. So what we're going to do is we're going to copy this. We're going to go over to our router. Yes, we have to refresh that. So this is done. So we're going to go over to firewall NAT groups. We're going to add the group, and we're just going to paste it, and it is a network group, and we're going to save it. Don't touch it again in the UI. Do not touch it ever again, because what's going to happen is it's going to populate all the countries that we specify that are allowed. You will never see it. The EdgeRouter UI has absolutely no idea what is happening with this, but it does work. This is the same. So do not touch do not touch this group after you've created it. Okay, enough with the warnings, right? So now what we're going to do is we're going to go back here. We're going to go down and we are going to copy this script. And we're going to open up Notepad++, and we're going to paste it in here. I thought we were going to do that. Copy. Paste. Now, you can see that the allowed countries list, we want to allow the US and Canada. That's it. So those are the only two countries we are going to allow to let packets through on our WAN interface. So that's it. We've modified this. Now there's one other thing that we've got to do. So you'll see that it calls for this mkdir. Let's just copy this. We're going to copy this. We're going to pull our instructions back up, and the script is created in this directory. So here's what we're going to do. We are going to go cd/config/scripts/post config.d, and we're going to do a sudo nano country -load. And we're going to paste this script in. We're going to do a Control-O. We're going to write it out. Control-X. We're going to do a sudo change mode 755 country load. Now what we're going to do is we're going to do a sudo./country load. And you're going to see we get this error that says can't open the files, right? Well, that's because the script, we're going to edit the script. The makedir is commented out, right? So what we're going to do is we are just going to create the location in the script, which is zone files. Then we are going to go back to our script. And we're going to run it. So this is going to take a few minutes. You could also do sudo su and run this as root. I don't recommend that unless you know 100% what you're doing. So we're going to let this load, and we'll be right back. All right, so be patient. This does take, I don't know, it took about 5-6 minutes here on this router, so just be patient. So now we're going to verify that these are loaded. And how are we going to do that? We are going to run this command that says IP. Let's get out of the command here. We're going to do sudo ipset-l countries allowed. And look at all of that beautifulness, right? So those are current United States and Canada IP blocks. And whoever wrote this article says, don't be fooled by looking in the UI, it will know nothing. And do not change the countries allowed from the UI. It will empty the list generated from this. Now, where we put that script, it should, when the router boots, it will look at the script, download the subnets, and re-add it when the router reboots. So just remember, on boot up, there's going to be likely a few minutes where this list is going to be built. So now we're going to go over to our EdgeRouter. We are not going to touch this. We're going to come over to firewall policies. Now, if we had like a port forward for like SSH or something like that, we could specify the source. But what we can do here is on our allow established related. We can edit this and we can put a source and we can go to network group and countries allowed. So now as we're going out, we're only going to be allowing traffic back in from Canada and the United States. And this, you know, where this may be even more relevant, like I said, is if you have those. Let me show you a port forwarding rule, or a firewall rule that allows a port through your firewall. So we'll add a new rule. We'll call this SSH, and it'll be accept TCP. Destination would be port 22, but then the source would be countries allowed. So if we save that, and then we move this over to the second rule here and save it, now that is only going to allow SSH through your firewall from the United States and Canada. So this is it. If you've got any questions, leave them in the comments below. But all right, that's it. That is how you block countries. You only allow certain countries in with your EdgeRouter. Now remember that if you make any changes to that firewall group in the UI, it blows those country settings out. So remember to not do that. And if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe. Please comment and share. Please follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Those links are down below. If you'd like to support the channel by becoming a patron on Patreon or by using our clearly marked Amazon affiliate links, those are all down below. They don't change your price, but they do kick a couple bucks to the channel. Once again, I'm Willie. I want to thank you for being here. And as always, I'll see you in the next video.